What is there to say about Fight Crab? I mean, just look at it. Witness the magnificence of two giant crustaceans combating each other with samurai swords and jetpacks. I'm sure most of you will feel this review isn't even necessary. You're instantly sold, I know. But humor me the listen, and perhaps I can tell you more. Fight Crab couldn't be any more of a simple concept. It's an arena fighter with a high focus on over-the-top physics and comedy. I'm sure what many of you want to know is it just a gimmicky comedy game, or is there a bit of substance to it? Well, let's just say that this ain't gonna be appearing on any esports contest anytime soon, but it does have a bit more crab meat to it than may first appear. For a fighting game roster, an indie game 1-2, I was surprised to see a very healthy 23 types of crabs or crab-like species available to beat the crap out of each other. Remember back in the day when fighting games had like 7 characters? 23 is spoiling me. They're gradually unlocked the more you play by spending money earned. I always appreciate having to unlock characters, genuinely. I hate it when fighting games have all the roster available from the start. This can be a 1v1 or 2v2 or 1v2 affair where you fight it out to the death. Well, okay, not death, but flipped on their back. Yep, that's how to win. Genius. With a handful of arenas, you'll be trying to come to grips with the controls. A standard fighter, this is not. Fight Crab is a monster in many ways. Unwieldy is a good word to describe the controls, but that's what it's all about. Bear with me as I try to awkwardly explain them. Your movement is automatic in the sense that you press a direction on the D-pad and your crustacean will crawl that way until you press another direction. This allows the 2 analog sticks to independently move around each of the crab's arms. The back shoulder buttons give each respective arm a good punch, and the forward shoulder buttons also independently open and close their respective pincers, which allows you to grab your crabby foes or pick up weapons to humorously swing at them. It takes a lot of getting used to. It's like trying to do combat in a shopping trolley while spinning plates or something, but getting used to it is all the fun. Somehow mastering the absurdity is actually the main draw here, and yes, while at the end of the day the fights have all the grace of a drunk Bambi trying to dance, you can actually be in control of the situation. Sometimes. This ain't gonna be in any esports competition, but my god do I wish it would. The campaign mode is a fairly lengthy 2 to 3 hours romp as you take on all the crabs in the roster and then some. Battles often feature waves of enemies too, meaning you may have to take on 3 or 4 crabs before you can restore your stamina. Yeah, you have a stamina, which the bigger the beating you take, the easier it is for you to get flipped on your back, and the harder it is for you to recover. You can generally flip yourself back over by punching with both arms at the same time, but good luck with that once you've reached 150%. There's loads of stuff going on in battles. It's not just whacking your opponent, there are quite a few special moves and abilities that you'll gain as you get further into the campaign. I found many of them a little awkward to pull off, and it seemed almost luck as to whether any of them actually did, but seeing a mantis shrimp go Super Saiyan or do a Hadouken never got old. There's a vast array of weapons that can be unlocked and bought at the shop. Some feel quite similar to each other, but there's plenty of variety nonetheless. Drill arms, boomerangs, shurikens, lancers. There's an overwhelming amount here. Lobsters with double-barrel shotguns, coconut crabs wielding maces. I know, you're already buying the game just from hearing that. The crabs themselves do have familiarity with each other, but they do have separate stats. Some are fast, some are slow, and then you just have the spider crab, which is hilariously gangly and ridiculously daft. I mean, swinging a long-ass palm tree around with an already stupidly long arm is just funny. It's pretty useless, but funny. One thing that I really didn't get on with was the leveling up of the crabs. I'm all for adding RPG elements to games where necessary, but this did not feel like it was needed. Yes, you do need to do it if you want to have an easier time the further you get in, but I wish it wasn't. There should have been a focus on balance rather than leveling up. I never got a tangible feeling of growth with these increases either. In terms of some nice multiplayer goodness, you and a buddy can tackle the campaign together in split screen or via online co-op. The game is often balanced to have a buddy with you since you're invited to have a co-op AI accompany you throughout the battles. I tried to avoid this, but later on it did become quite necessary to have someone else brunt some of the damage. Taking 2 crabs on at once is not easy. If you're feeling a little competitive, there's also Versus mode, which can be played online, split screen, or local wireless if you have 2 switches available. Sadly, due to the time of playing this game, I could not test the online to see how stable it was. In terms of visuals, Fight Crab is sporting a simple look. The environmental assets would not look out of place on the original Katamari Damacy with low poly and low resolution textures. The crabs themselves have the focus, however, and look remarkably well realized. Still, it's not the best looking game in the world and screams budgeted release. No doubt the simplicity is the reason that the download version is less than a gigabyte in size. In terms of performance, I was well surprised to see the frame rate be very solid. I can't say I noticed any wavering, although there were a few glitches here and there. Your assistant crab got stuck a couple of times on the environment, only reanimating itself when I perished, and the game did freeze on one occasion. It was also nicely capable in portable mode too, although I have to say I enjoyed the controls a lot less with the ample usage of the shoulder buttons here. My 8-bit Do SN30 Pro Plus was the way I enjoyed playing this the most in docked mode. I didn't play too much handheld. The audio, well, I went in not knowing what on earth to expect from the music of a game about fighting crabs. I was very curious. Needless to say, it's as weird as the game itself. It can change from heavy rock to cutesy, dreamy-like stuff, and climaxing with an epic score at the final boss. I wouldn't say it's great, but the arcade nature of it made me fairly happy. In terms of value, I'm not entirely sure of the US or European price, as the game isn't out there until next month. Going off the Japanese eShop, where it's already released, then we're probably expecting around $22 or £17. Round that up or down, you'll get there eventually. Which for me is fair cop. If you'd have asked me a few years ago, I'd have said that was overly ambitious for a budget comedy game, but I can appreciate the effort gone into this for the price. I mean, they could have made this concept a lot more rushed. A quick cash grab on a comedy game. But no, they wanted to make it fun, and that's commendable. Plus, that's like $1 per crab. It's a bargain. Like I said, it's not out in the West yet, it's coming next month, but if you want to get it early, then you can get it from the Japanese eShop, and if you need some credit, then there are some in the description below in the pinned comment. It's pretty easy and painless to set it up. You'll need 2,400 yen for this one. In the West, Fight Crab is a digital exclusive title. There is no physical copy in the West, with no plans to do so at the time of writing, according to the publisher. But Japan knows what's up, Asia always gets the good stuff, and over there, Fight Crab is releasing physically in a box. And that's not all, since the Switch is region-free, this cartridge also contains English, so it's perfect for importing if you're a collector like myself. If you want to pick this up in your collection, and perhaps frame the absolutely stunning artwork on the wall, then check the link below in the description and the pinned comment. You can find a link as to where you can pick this up for yourself. Plus, if you use that link, it also helps support the channel in a massive way. Helps way more than watching ads and stuff. Plus, we can give you something back. You can get 5% off your order when checking out if you use the coupon code SwitchWatchTV. That's all one word when checking out SwitchWatchTV for 5% off your order. Overall, Fight Crab is pretty much what you're expecting from watching the ridiculous trailer, but to give it some credit, it's slightly more than that. Yes, it's over the top, unwieldy, and never in a million years going to be showing up at a fighting event. But as a party game, or even just playing by yourself, you can have some fun with it, and not just due to its absurdity. I don't want to spoil it, but the second to last boss in the campaign is just a sight to behold. It is beautiful. I burst out laughing. Anyways, learning the controls and mastering them is a lot of fun. It just so happens that you're doing it as a giant crustacean, which always helps. This is not an essential game. No way. If you want quality, this is not it. It's not going to be for everyone. Some people will pick this up, play for a few rounds and be done, either not getting on with the controls or the novelty quickly wearing off, while others can get sucked into the depths of what it has to offer, especially if you want to play online or side by side with your buddy. But that's the same as with any fighting game. I'm struggling between my heart and my brain on this one. My heart wants to give it higher, my brain says I should score it lower. I'm sticking with a 7 out of 10, and that's my heart, not my brain. Thank you all for watching. Big shout out to our executive producers Gannicus, God of Resin, Jonathan Rumo, Brent McLean, and Dane Wilkinson. Thank you for your support, along with our other YouTube members. Plus, you watching right now. Yes, you. If you watched all the way through, it helps us out massively. You have no idea. We've had a lot of content for you guys over the days. There's plenty to choose from, and I'm sure you'll find something that takes your fancy. We'll see you guys over there. Take care.